$15 earbuds against $35 earbuds. How cheap can you go and still get a decent sound? SoundMAGIC E10s have been around for quite some time now, and they've been praised by What Hi-Fi, trusted reviews and other professional sources. I bought them for $35. Now, I read a lot about KZ. Claims on the web are that they can beat several times more expensive earphones and so on. So I took several of them, ZS3, ZS5 and ES4. ZS3 are very bass heavy with narrow soundstage and V-shaped sound. ZS5 are very thin and harsh sounding, with very sibilant voices. Neither of them qualifies to be called true hi-fi product in my opinion, so I focused on the best of them, ES4. Let's start with E10s. In the package you get carrying case and a lot of additional ear tips. And they sound very well balanced and lively. Bass is pleasantly deep but well controlled. Mids are clear and present enough, and in high frequencies you can hear a lot of fine details, but great thing is they never sound harsh and you never get sibilant vocals. So they're nicely balanced with decent soundstage and separation of the instruments, lively and rhythmic, and I really like them, and they're easy to recommend for all kinds of music. Now let's talk about KZ ES4 that are almost 3 times cheaper. So how do they compare? This is not a case of cheap V-shaped sound where bass overpowers everything. They do have strong punchy bass and I like it. Mid-range and highs have a lot of details. Stereo separation is really nice and soundstage is wide. It's an exciting sound overall. I listened to some electro and some pop songs and they sounded as good as E10s, but later I put on some jazz and older rock music and it became clear that mid-range and highs are clean but also dry sounding. They lack some fluidity and musicality. So full, warm, rich voices, that's not something they can do. And depending on the recording, it can sometimes be a rough ride, because that dryness in mids and highs can make them tiring after some time. Switch back to E10s and you quickly notice fuller and more fluid tones. Detail levels are similar, but there's no harshness to voices or any other instruments, and there's no fatigue even after long listening sessions. Switch back to KZ ES4 again and you'll notice some tones are being stripped of their natural fullness and color. It can sound great with some music genres, but if you listen a lot of natural voices and instruments, they may sound sharp and dry to you. To sum it up, these offer really nicely balanced sound, as good as any I heard up to $50 mark. That's well-rounded sound, pleasant for all kinds of music and longer listening. These on the other hand are fun and energetic. They sound very attractive with some music genres, but can be artificially sharp and a little bit sterile with others. So are they worth the money? I think they are. I don't see anything better on the market for the same amount of money right now. But can they really match the 3 times more expensive buds? No. Now, I can't put numbers and percentages on the sound quality, so it's up to you to determine if the sound difference is appropriate to the price difference. But I'm just sharing my experience, so it may help some of you. And last but not least, these are made of aluminum and the cord is pretty neat and almost tangle-free. You can see how neatly it is rolled. These are plasticky I don't care about that, they look sturdy enough, but I actually had problems with one connector that was loose out of the box, and the right bud kept losing contact. So I glued it in, as you can see here, so it can work. And earlier this year I had one ZS3 bud die in just 2 weeks. So there's that quality problem with KZ2, just to be aware of. And that's it for today. Feel free to write below and share your thoughts.